Okay, the colognes that I'm going to be talking about today are Ellis by Ellis, Gucci's Guilty, 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, Bvlgari's Man in Black, Polo's Supreme Oud, Versace's Eros for him, and Dior's Sauvage. Well, hey YouTube fam, it's a Southern girl, and I know this video has been long overdue, and that is talking about my favorite men's colognes in my honey's collection. My honey has a large collection just like I do. It was hard to narrow down my absolute favorite scents, but I managed to do it, and I'm gonna tell y'all that every time he wears one of these particular colognes, I just have to be all over him. And he gets a ton of compliments when he wears any of these colognes. So let's go ahead and get started. The first cologne that I want to talk about today is Gucci's Guilty. So let me tell you about the notes that's in Gucci's Guilty. This is the original one. This one is not the intense. This is just the very first one that came out. The top notes are lavender and lemon. The middle notes are orange flower. The base notes are cedarwood and patchouli. And this cologne smells so good and so fresh. It's definitely going to be, I would say, a classic smelling men's cologne. It wears well, has great longevity, great sillage. It has not been a time that he has wore this cologne and not got a compliment. And this is his second bottle. I bought this one for him this year because I told him you're going to always keep this one in your collection. This is the one that resonates with me the most. So check it out. So the next one that I want to talk about is 1 Million. It's by a designer called, I want to say his name is Paco Rabanne. Now, I might be saying that wrong, and y'all know that I would tear a name up, so y'all are going to correct me anyway. So if I didn't pronounce it right, then help me out. Let me tell you about the notes that's in the 1 Million. The top notes are grapefruit, mint, and blood orange. The middle notes are rose, cinnamon, spice notes, and blonde wood. And the base notes are white wood, amber, and patchouli. And what I really love about the men's 1 Million is that it's a really nice, rich, woody smell. You do get a hint of cinnamon and mint is what I smell, but it comes off really good and it wears really well too. This one has great sillage, great longevity, and the dry down on this one is really pretty. It gets even sexier when this one dries down. Now y'all know I have told y'all about when they do the version for the same name cologne in a man's version and a female's version, and the female version I didn't care for it. I didn't care for the ladies 1 Million. I've smelled it several times, but it just wasn't for me. Now you may have it, you may absolutely love it, but for the men, they hit it out the park with this one. So check this one out. The next one that I want to talk about is Bvlgari's Man. He just got this one for Christmas. Actually, I got him a couple of colognes right together because his birthday is only 2 days before Christmas. But I did get this one. Bvlgari has a ton of colognes in their collection for men and for women. And the one that I really like a lot is Bvlgari Man in Black. So let me tell you about the notes. So the top notes have rum, cardamom, and cinnamon. Cinnamon again. The mid notes are iris, leather, and something that's interesting, tuberose. And the base notes are benzoin, tonka bean, guaiac wood, and black amber. I know y'all be talking about my descriptions, but this one smells like a powdery rum. But it smells really good. I know that's probably a crazy description, but I think that the rum mixed with the amber as well as that leather and cinnamon comes off like a really powdery smell. Very rich. It is a cologne that wears well. It's not a super loud cologne, but it does have a very good scent. So if you get a chance, check this one out. The next one that I want to talk about was one that really surprised me because y'all know if I like the men's version, I typically don't like the ladies or vice versa. But with Versace, with their Eros, I adore the ladies, and I also love the men's as well. Versace's Eros for him. And just look at this bottle, y'all. This one is I think one of his best bottles in his collection. Look at all the work that has gone into this bottle. Absolutely gorgeous. On the front it has the face of Medusa. Top it has the face of Medusa. Let me tell you about the notes. Top notes have mint, green apple, and lemon. The mid notes are tonka bean, geranium, and ambroxan. And the base notes are Madagascar vanilla, vetiver, oak moss, Virginia cedar, and Atlas cedar. And what I love about this cologne is that it is really fresh, and you do smell the lemon and the moss and the cedar, and it comes out really clean, a nice scent. It does have a very good sillage. It does last. It's a pick-me-up cologne. It has some spring to it. So if you haven't had a chance to smell this one, I encourage you to smell this one in the men's version and as well as in the ladies. The next cologne that I want to talk about, it's almost 10 years old. A quick story. Well, when I first met my honey, he was wearing this cologne, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this man smells so good. And the cologne is Perry Ellis for men. Let me tell you about the notes. I really couldn't find how the layers are, but I was able to find what notes are actually in here. It has grapefruit, woody accords, green apple, iris root, leather, musk, and amber. So it's not a lot going on in this cologne, but it smells really good to me. It has a sweet ambery smell. It's like sweet and sour at the same time. It has great sillage. Longevity is awesome, and this has been out for so long. The price is pretty reasonable. I think we've gotten bottles for less than $50. So if you get a chance to smell this one, this is one that is one of my absolute favorites, and I really love how this smells. So if you get a chance, it's an oldie. I'm calling this one an oldie but goodie. The next one that I want to talk about in his collection, this one came out last year, or their celebrity rep for this cologne is Johnny Depp, and the one that I want to talk about is Sauvage by Dior. And let me tell you, one thing that's cool about the top is magnetized. Let me tell you about the notes. The top notes are bergamot and ambroxan. The middle notes are geranium and pepper. And the base notes are lavender, vetiver, and patchouli. And I have to tell y'all, if I ever had to think of what I feel like a man smells like, Dior got this one right. It's spicy, it's manly, it's just enough sweet. All those ingredients mixed together created a really good smell. So y'all know I always have a story. So we had gone out to dinner. This was right after Christmas, and we were sitting in our booth just chatting it up, and this young guy walked past and left a scent trail behind them that we both just looked at each other and was like, oh my goodness, what does he have on? Now mind you, this is the one I got him for his birthday, but he hadn't really worn it. So I said, honey, I know you're going to go over there and ask that guy what cologne he has on. He said, yeah, I'm going to let him get situated. I was like, okay. He went over and asked the guy, man, what do you have on? And he told him Sauvage. So when he came back and told me, of course we started laughing because he had just got the Sauvage. This one, you couldn't cheat with somebody with this one because it leaves a scent trail. It is going to be on you. Sillage is awesome. Longevity is there. Heck, I had thought the guy had used half of the bottle, how strong it was. So definitely this is one you have to be careful with. You won't have to use a lot of it. It is one of my new favorites in his collection. Oh, and then let me give you another part to this story. So when I actually went out to get this cologne for him, I said, let me smell it again on a card. And the young lady sprayed it on a card for me. It was another lady in the store. She came back from around the corner and said, what did you just spray? And I said, I know which one you're talking about. It is the Sauvage. So if you want something that's going to definitely stop a person in their tracks, check this one out. So the final one that I want to talk about today, my honey wanted a cologne with oud in it. So we had gone out on one of our smelling trips. We had went to Neiman Marcus, Saks, all over the place. And we had looked at some in Armani's private collection, but y'all know the price points on those can get pretty expensive. So we kept smelling, and we came across this one. Out of all of the men's colognes that we smelled that had oud in it, this one was the one that resonated with both of us. And that is Polo Supreme Oud. The notes that are in this are cinnamon and pink pepper. Y'all gonna say I love everything with cinnamon, but it seems to be a running theme. The middle note is smoky Indian oud accord, and the base note is guaiac wood and vetiver. So it's not a lot going on in this cologne, but this is one I would consider wearing myself. It's Has a little bit of sweet, woody. I've spoke on oud before. You know, they call it liquid gold, but it comes from a tree over in the Middle East, and it's a pretty expensive ingredient to use. Polo got this one right, and for the price point, I think it's well worth it. Every time he wears this, I can identify. Matter of fact, I can identify all of them, but this one definitely speaks to me. It's a very sexy cologne. It's a very rich cologne, and if you're looking for something with an oud in it, don't overlook this one by Polo. So guys, that is going to conclude my favorites in my honeys collection. But I do have a tip for y'all. My tip for today. I know that a lot of men do not have 50 plus colognes the way my honey does. And lots of times, guys, you know, people will get one thing and pretty much stick with it, something that they love. They are now offering the jumbo bottles in the men's colognes. And I don't know if you can tell, but this one is a 6.7. Huge! Just huge. I know that they've offered the jumbos in a few of the ladies' colognes, but I think they're doing it a lot more with the men. So if you have a gentleman or someone in your life who has a favorite cologne, check it out, because you'll actually get double the large size for maybe $30 to $40 more, and they would have double the amount. As long as you store your colognes correctly, they will last a long time. Of course, y'all know, feel free to leave your questions, comments, and guys, let me know about your favorite colognes. I would love to hear about it. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. And of course, if you're already a subscriber, then y'all know how I feel about you. And until the next video.